Shalom. Call Halayim Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai by Hashem Rachak Udash. Shanya Kubad, the Gadabala Requab, the Quanyam Nawa, Wa Shalayakim Nawa. That's the belongers to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, Shalom, Wabarakim, Labakaryim, Shaliyasharala, and that peace and blessings to the elect of Israel. Just wanted to make a real quick video concerning this article. This is from foxbusiness.com. It came out December 19th. So only a few days ago. The title says, U.S. economist predicts 2024 will bring biggest crash of our lifetime. Harry Dent warns an everything bubble will burst in the new year. So will this happen? We don't know. Are we hoping it happens? Absolutely. Why is that? It's because this upcoming crash, recession, Great Depression, collapse, whatever you want to call it, it coincides with what the Bible calls Jacob's trouble. I say that all the time, and in the spirit, I'm going to keep saying it up until that day. Our job is to warn the elect out there of the upcoming destruction so that you can prepare yourself the proper way, which is spiritually. Not by stashing up all this food, getting bunkers, and doing all this extra carnal things. We have to get right with our God, Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, build up our spirit, and ask Him to increase our faith in Him. That's the only way to make it through this pending, I'll say, perilous time. So, will there be a crash in 2024? Maybe. Will it be the biggest one? If it does happen, then sure. It's very, very likely. So, I'm going to read just a few paragraphs, and then we'll grab some precepts. It says, as the clock ticks closer to 2024, one outspoken economist is making a dire prediction. One outspoken economist is making a dire predication about the markets in the new year. Since 2009, this has been 100% artificial, unprecedented money printing and deficits. $27 trillion over 15 years to be exact. This is off the charts. 100% artificial, which means we're in a dangerous state, Harry Dent told Fox News Digital. I think 2024 is going to be the biggest single crash year we'll see in our lifetimes. And of course, if you're a part of the hopeful elect, then we're praying for a few days. So we're saying Lord's will as we read and hear this article. I'm the guy, he says, that's praying for a crash while everyone... That's the spirit. He says, I'm the guy that's praying for a crash while everybody else is not. We need to get back down to normal, and we need to send a message to central banks, he continued. This should be a lesson I don't think we'll ever revisit. He don't even know, but he's preaching right now. This should be a lesson I don't think we'll ever revisit. I don't think we'll ever see a bubble for any of our lifetimes again. But of course, as he was saying these things, then he's coming from the perspective of the economy bouncing back and money finally circulating in economy the normal way, like real money, right? No more artificial money being printed. Now that central banks learn their lesson and the world keeps churning and everything is all good. That's where he's coming from. Our perspective, we want righteousness to finally reign here on earth. And that means, yes, a crash has to come. With that, the Bible prophesies famine. Of course, the dollar is going to become something of the past, and there's going to be a digital currency. There's going to be a lot of looting and rioting. People are going to lose their jobs. Things will only get worse and worse, the Bible says, up until the day of the Lord returns. And that's it. It's a short read. But we don't need to get any more. That's the point. U.S. economist predicts 2024 will bring the biggest crash of our lifetime. Now, because I mentioned how things were going to get worse and worse, I do want to start off here. I'm only going to grab a few precepts. 2nd Esdras is what it is. 16. Let's see. Yep. Starting at verse 37 through 39, it's highlighted. It says, behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack, as when a woman with child in her 9th month bringeth forth her son, with 2 or 3 hours of her birth great pains compass her womb, which pains, when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. So those birth pains, they come harder and faster, and it hurts. That's why the woman is in pain, right? It's comparing that experience to how the plagues are going to hit in the entire world. Not even just Babylon the Great, but this is the main place of prophecy. When things start really happening, prophecies, I should say, not things, then they're going to hit harder and have a stronger impact the more it happens and the closer we get to Yahushua returning. That's what this similitude is referring to. That's why verse 39 says, even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrows shall come upon it on every side. Just how that woman, when she's having those birth pains, she's mourning in a sense, right? Because of all the pain. Well, the world is going to be mourning because of all the pain that the plagues are going to be bringing. And that coincides with Jacob's trouble. Now, check this out. I'm going to use the blue letter. Go to Matthew 24. I bring this out all the time as well. Concerning this upcoming potential 2024 crash, collapse, whatever you want to call it. Matthew 24, verse 21. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of this world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. So if there is a crash in 2024, it's going to coincide with Jacob's trouble, and it's going to be the worst crash, collapse, whatever time of tribulation that the world has ever seen. It's going to be bad. It's going to be really bad. And that's why we have to get our spirits right with the Most High, whose name is Yahweh, and his only begotten Son, whose name is Yahushai. We all will need some kind, or I'll just say, we all will need spiritual intervention in these upcoming days. You're not going to survive by yourself. It's going to be a spiritual time. I mean, we're talking about people seeing actual spirits, maybe different animals, creatures that the Lord has saved, things that we've never seen, plagues that probably the Bible doesn't even mention the Lord has saved for this time. Who knows? Crazy things. I mean, who saw C-19 coming? What was it, 2020, March 2020? Who saw that coming? So who else knows what the Most High has prepared for maybe some new DIS eases? I got to say that for the algorithm. Who knows? We just really don't. We just have to have faith that the Lord is going to watch over us. Now, I mentioned Jacob's trouble a few times. I might as well read that precept as well. Oh, man. Tripping. Jeremiah 30 and verse 7. I'll read verse 6 and 7. Verse 6 says, thought I highlighted 7. Jeremiah 30 verses 6 and 7. Ask ye now, and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness? Like, why is this? What's going on? Well, verse 7 says, Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. It says that day is great, so that none is like it. That links up with what we read in Matthew 24, verse 21. That great time of tribulation. That's worse than what the world has ever seen nor shall be. It says it is even the time of Jacob's trouble, because that's the real purpose of why these things are happening. Yeah, it's to destroy Esau, Edom, and of course give the Most High his glory and power. But the Lord is doing this all for the purpose of what? Jacob's trouble, the Israelites' trouble. The Most High is coming down on his people at the same time. He's coming down hard on his people for their disobedience, for them neglecting him. And he's going to use Esau, Edom to do it. I'll say it's one of the big reasons. right? Because the overarching theme is to glorify the Most High and His Son. All right, let me just correct myself and say that. So it is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. He referring to the elect member. Different men, women, and children. He shall be saved out of it. You should be hoping to be a part of the elect, striving to be a part of that number, meaning you receive salvation by getting delivered from America, from Babylon the Great, by way of the Lord's chariots. That's what we're hoping for. That's what we're hoping for. And we're going to need that divine intervention watching over us before that deliverance happens, because Jacob's trouble could last however long the Lord wants it to last. If He wants it to be a few weeks, then it'll be a few weeks. That'd be great, but I highly doubt it. A few months. But still, I doubt it. I mean, Jacob's trouble could last a long time, however long the Lord wants it to. It could be 6 months, 8 months. It could be a whole year of just great tribulation. I don't know. I do believe, like the apostles say, when that micro CHIP is made mandatory, then it's going to be real quick. Because Esau is going to want to push his agenda as quickly as possible, which means the Lord is going to return. It's all in the Lord's hands anyway, right? But that's it. I'm not going to make this too much longer, right at 11, 12 minutes. So, Kol Haloyim Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Rachakudash. I pray that this video is edifying to the elect. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the elect. Shalom.